you. Understand more from the world of business with the news recap, where we looked at the bag business in Uganda, which among many is also a business that is under the small and medium-sized enterprises that is steadily picking up. However, it is being affected greatly by almost the same situations that is affecting the entire global landscape in Africa. Then we also apparently got to understand more from the national guidance situation, if you're to look at that particular report that did come through in the NBA, in more from the news recap this morning. And then also steadily looking through what has been coming in from the news, from the other perspective of news. We had a report from the international outlets regarding dealing with famine, where at least $1 billion is needed to avert famine in Somalia. That is according to the United Nations. And then we got to look at something to do with the cyber city, which is in Zimbabwe, as Zimbabwe is launching to have a cyber city, and this project is set to anchor a new capital city in the country, which is not likely to be Harare. And then also the other one is the maize exports permits, where new maize shocks. There's a new maize shock as Tanzania freezes export permits for Kenyan traders. Now that is another big task for the new president-elect, William Ruto, who is set for inauguration in the few coming months, as he will be becoming the president, the 5th president of Kenya. He's already the 5th president of Kenya, elect, and so he will be waiting to swear in as that particular president, or the 5th president. Then we moved on ground, where Bridget Andrew apparently went on to ask more from the people in Nakawa on the issue to do with tax holidays, or as well as tax incentives that government gives out to investors, both local investors and the foreign investors mainly, and what the people feel is supposed to be done by government to improve on the level of investment here in Uganda, to expound on our economic space in the country. But not only that, we also go to get an update from the Uganda AIDS Commission on matters to do with the limited funding that they're actually receiving lately. That is the underfunding from the donors that have been giving in more for the Uganda AIDS Commission. And one of the key reasons that were mentioned under this includes COVID-19, where most of the efforts were turned to fighting COVID-19, forgetting the fact that there were also AIDS patients who were supposed to get treatment and all that. And there was a time where there was an outbreak in a situation whereby some of the AIDS patients ran out of medicines like the ARVs and the other supplements that they get onto that. So this is something that steadily affects the Uganda AIDS Commission. On the other hand, more especially when you're no longer getting donor funding from different NGOs or from different international bodies that have been pushing in for that. And clearly that is something that you would want to ask and seek from the government, to see how best will the government strain themselves to see that this particular Uganda AIDS Commission and the HIV patients are quickly sorted out with the issue to do with funding. And of course, when you look at Uganda's challenges, one of the challenges that we are facing is the issue to do with limited funding in most of the projects, or most of the policies that the government wants to implement. And then also looking closely at the other issues also regarding fundings. The reason as to why you get to realize some projects take time to occur or take time to be finished, completed, is simply because there will be delay of funding from the government or from the other bodies that are supposed to be giving in these particular funds. So apparently these are some of the key issues that we've been having for you in today's Smart Men's Business. It is Thursday, another day for you to go out there and hustle hard to make some money for yourself, and at least save for the future as well. Something that is quite vital for the growth of any business person is to see that you grow together, but you grow with your team, and as well help your family, help those around you as you're impacting the development of the society under which you come from. So that is it for Smart Men's Business today. Well, later on will be financial markets with Anthony Sebale, and then Fred Makubia will be in with Yugi Tukole. But before I do leave you this particular, and I will be leaving you with the Smb No Comment. But a quick one normally is that please do add us on our social media platforms. We've got Twitter, Smart24TV, Instagram is Smart24_TV. Then you can get us on our website, www.smart24.tv, still for more reports and business stories that you might have missed in that. And of course, we are also on YouTube, Smart24TV Live. Please do remember to subscribe. That will be potentially an opportunity for Uganda to understand more of the business news and information that we bring to you in the comfort of your home, wherever you are. We're on GSTV channel 372 and GoTV channel 394 is where you can definitely get us on mainstream and and then we get to interact and discuss business matters. We are the driving force of business in East Africa, and we grow bigger and beyond every day to ensure that you get information that is deliberately driven to change your life, as we are Smart24 TV. Thank you very much for being part of Smart Means Business. Have a blessed day. Good morning.
Measure to attract investors, but as I've said, it is only a temporary measure. In the long-term planning of a country, it's not just about tax incentive. Why people choose to invest their money where they invest. The biggest attraction for investment is the purchasing power of a population. The ability of a given society to consume and pay. That's a game changer. So the whole debate about economics, how do you create and amass a population that has capacity to consume and to pay? That's where the economics is. The question is, do you incentivize people through whatever taxes or other incentives, or you concentrate on wealth creation? The question is, how do you create wealth creation? The argument is that you forego some other, you give investors, okay, and you attract them to come to a given to invest. But two things come into play. It's a temporary measure. If you make it culture, if you make it a rule, one, you bring incompetent companies. You will create a scenario where these companies cannot grow inherently, naturally, to gain strength. Therefore, they are on artificial high, as we call it. They're in a state of artificial high. You'll see them looking healthy, but behind the scene, they have a cannula. Okay? They're on oxygen. The moment you switch off of oxygen, they either die or they have a stunted growth. So you on borrowed time all the time. But companies go in where there is durable, it is about durable, predictable economic environment. Is there peace and stability in that country? The answer is yes. Do you have the infrastructure? Do you have a market?
We do have laws that regulate investment in the country, but we also have general laws and the constitution that is supreme when it comes to decision making in the country. So when we see issues of tax incentives in the country, the problem is that the incentives are actually granted to foreign investors, and sometimes out of the research that has been done, some of them are actually, it is the government that gives the money to start these investments in the country. And as a country, we feel that this should be revised. We are saying that if there are any tax incentives that should be given, first of all, they should be given to our local manufacturers and local investors. Secondly, we are saying that when it comes to foreign investors, they must first be scrutinized to ensure that first they have the funds, 2, the issues of land must be settled. 3, a policy on recruitment of workers and how they are going to be paid, how many Ugandans are going to be in such a company and all that. So those are some of the recommendations that we feel should be looked at when it comes to tax incentives. But also, as Parliament of Uganda, there is a bill, it's called the National Local Content Bill 2022, and actually today on the floor of Parliament it's going to be presented by Honorable Smb Oshabe. And the purpose of the bill basically is to see that we are fighting for the rights of Ugandans to participate in decision making when it comes to issues like tax incentives, decisions on who to exempt tax from, and also for Ugandans to actively be participating in decisions on how we get the loans and how we spend the loans and how we pay back the money and how which workers are to be recruited by which agency. Also for Ugandans to take decisions in their companies being shortlisted for most of these tenders that are usually also given to foreign investors. So those are some of the things that